Hello, hello. Yuk, okay dah. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hari ni aku akan sambung ini mission lah. Aku tak tahu dah. Aku boleh ni ke tak? Aku boleh keluar ke tak? Rasanya boleh kot. Sekejap let me terangkan sikit. Okay. Kita buat daily mission dulu, lepas tu kita continue hari tu punya gameplay. Okay? Boleh keluar ke? Boleh. Wah. Boleh keluar. First, kita akan buat apa ini? Apa ni? Oh ni. Oh ni kat tempat baru. Conte Institute. Oh ada kucing Ada kitty. Kita pergi ke bawah ini ya. Defeat all the malfunctioning clockwork mecha. 1/4.
Stabilize.
Shine down.
Order guide you.
Udah guide you. Udah mati ni.
Illusion shattered.
Oh tu je. Lul. Okay, next kita akan pergi ke aplikasi ni ya. Mana? Di bawah. Benda merah tu. Untuk buat puffer fruit. Destroy all the puffer fruit. Roger. Bruh. Next kita sudah buat. Kita akan pergi ke third one pula ya. Kita yang kena ubah lah. Tak apalah. It's okay. Kat mana? Makanan. Okay. Nanti kita tutup ini. Ini barang.
Everyone focus.
Medus berai. Oh lawan ni Hydro Phantasm.
Grow. Make yourselves at home. Rest and rebuild. I see everything. Shine down.
Itu je. Dia lemah. Next kita akan lawan. Kita pergi sini. Sini sorok. Ya tu. Overroot. It's my turn to catch people, huh? I will get you for sure, Lovey. You won't be so sure. There's some places you can climb up to. Well, that's because my shoes aren't suited to climbing. Pulang awak, Pak Boom. Pak Boom tengkorak kau. Macam mana lagu ni? Macam lagu dia? Lupa dah. Tak lah. Lupa dah. Ya ke? Ya. Salah je. Tak banyak. Sambal aku tak buka lagi. Alah, yang macam nak muntah tu. Hah? Aku pun sambut. Aku tak keluar. Bodoh kat kadang-kadang sambut aku ni. Find all trinket. I see one. Orang rasa menyorok kau duduk situ. The heck. Oh tu ha. Hide and seek. Lagi seorang. Seorang di mana? Can find me. Apa? Oh ni. Oh tu ha. Tambah aku loading. No. Sufficiently rigorous. Oh, sabar ya. Itu bukan muntah gila. Hero okay. Ada all product coffee. Habis tu apa sembelit? Tungkau sembelit. Dia sudah buat itu 4 quest. Sekejap ni kira. Ya aku chat. Ha? Apa benda sebenarnya? Tak faham. Oh? Betul lah. CPU is the
Boats are
man.
made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come
Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Welcome to the
Thank you for
support.
completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Okay, kita akan sambung kita punya story. So, nanti kita claim dulu. Aku Oh, bagi 10. Okay. Yo. Yo, apa ni? Bubble generator.
And this wine tastes the same as I remember.
Huh? Faham. Ada bubble. Huh? Erase lah. Oh, patutlah. My bad. Sekejap korang. Dah. Apa ni? Tak tahu lah. Salah command je. Ya kan? Nanti dia fix sendiri. Mana tadi kita nak buat? Oh ya, ni. Ini tempat. Sini. Tu lah.
Hey, you over there? Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game? All right. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually come here to fight?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all the same in my eyes. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So I came over to say hi. Sure.
Goodbye.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about this place.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me to just pick a topic?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived?
Yes.
Then, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner?
I think ni kot. We start dengan level rune.
Yeah, so you've already met those two. They're quite a pair. They always keep an eye out for the latest happenings and gossip about everything. I've never seen anyone with more time on their hands. I heard that they used to be a chef and a bartender before they were sent down here. You know how bartenders are, always chatting with customers. And chefs
Always
love to pass the
watching.
time just hanging out when they're not cooking.
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing. Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though? To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I kinda respect that.
Serius lah.
A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can tell us?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation with me first, though.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
Production zone Kat mana Ingat tak? Aku tak ingat sekejap. Production zone. Sekejap, production zone. Sini ke? Tu kat atas. Sekejap. Oh, bawah. Sekejap aku ubah dalam ni. Quick swap. Okay, dah. Harus gimana turun bawah ni? Lupa sudah. Sini ke? Ni turun. Ni naik. Oh tu ha. Depan tu. Tu terbang buat aku. Oh.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Cut saya. Kerja saya. Mana ni? Production zone is depan sana. Okay. Bawah lagi ya? Atas pula. Biar kebenaran. Aku sepak kan. Hai bawang. Dah habis stream ke? Hello. Mana? What the hell? Benda. Oh.
Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
A little something. Yeah.
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my full and undivided attention. Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later. It's the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only fair for us to fulfill our end of the bargain. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Wriothesley's watchful eyes.
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too.
Lari.
Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise, Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission. So, you are the only ones we can count on.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you. Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first.
Apa ni? That's weird.
No, when it comes to intelligence gathering, I'd never consider you to be an amateur. Didn't you say it yourself? It's always been your strong suit. I'll believe anything as long as it comes from you. So, please prove your prowess to me once again.
All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Let's go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days. Stay safe.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek.
What happening? Tak tahu lah buat aku.
There seem to be several people
Kenapa dia
inside.
cantik edit? Buat betul je. Forman dia. Aku tak ada masukkan bot. Tapi itulah. Apparently dia kata kat situ doesn't exist. Padahal dah set dah. Tak tahu kenapa tak edit ni.
It's not impossible.
It's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Let's go as soon as you're ready.
Kejut saya.
Someone, please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison?
Let me take a look. Please lie down over here.
Oh, my stomach is really hurt.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
You can do it, traveler.
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. I see now. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way.
Eh? Oh, that's good. But
I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here? And here?
Oof, that hurt a little.
Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. How strange. What about here? Does this hurt? Oh, I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up.
so that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Woolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you? Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
Lorraine.
And she hopped away just like that.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
His stomach ache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
That's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are you two also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her... you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now, please.
Gak
Keep it
dulu.
civil at least. Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over silly things like this!
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
Paham?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here again anytime soon.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? But there's no need to keep dwelling on him. I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Sijuin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine. No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijuin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon too.
Thank you.
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double-check a few details, if that's alright with you.
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead.
So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Alright then.
Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds?
No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods, and don't stay up too late at night.
Got it. Paimon will hold the traveler to that for sure. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
Hi Nat, welcome to the stream.
We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually super strong.
Bocah penat je. Mana ada?
You're the best of companions.
Mana ada bocah penat?
He'll recover soon.
Ni sebab ni. Nampak macam mata aku kuyu kan sebab
You're awake.
ada lampu. So aku kalau ada kejayaan kat mata,
You slept for a
kau
really
akan
long
nampak mata
time,
aku
but
macam
we never
berkedip.
left.
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take
Aku ada
your
masalah
meds
silau.
regularly.
So sebab tu kau nampak
remember,
macam mata
plant
aku macam nampak tak nampak je kan. Return to the dormitories. Kat mana tadi yang dia nampak tu? Ini lah, okay. Mana nak keluar? Atas ni. Saya okay je. Dia nampak macam ngantuk je. Tu lah tu. Oh, dekat je tempat aku dengan tu. Okay.
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death. No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of,
Aku tak buat lagi
Paimon,
Archon
don't
ni,
taste
so
my
aku
grilled
cuma
fish
dengar
and
lah.
put
Faham?
down the Adeptus temptation now. Paimon talked with Sijwin the entire time you were asleep. She
Tak
seems like
jadi
she's
lah.
just a
Aku
sincere
geram.
nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
Dia punya style Archon Quest ni kan, yang Fontaine punya ni, dia slightly lebih kurang
Whoa,
macam
you really
Sumeru
are
punya.
super thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't
Kadang ada
even pick up on.
ulang-ulang. So
We've
ya,
gotta give the info to Linny.
kena bertabah lah ya. Jalan je. Hari ke-9.
Today's the day. Let's go meet up with Vinny.
Siapa yang request ni?
Oh,
Hmm?
Oh. Dia 3. Oh my god.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
no, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Okay, then let's head over right away.
Head to the infirmary in secret. Infirmary.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh.
Lynette.
Strange. Lynette?
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
What happened?
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
Okay.
Search for clue in infirmary.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like medical records. Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew Sigewinne would be interested in these kinds of things? She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melusine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
Second clue. Kita akan cari katil.
None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest while she left to retrieve the medication. Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
Yes, kita akan cari dekat belakang ni.
Ah, this is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
Bila adik dia hilang kot. Dia tak panik.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards."
This is...
Is that all? The back. This is...
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No.
Hilang?
Could she have... Is she already...
Writhely. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Writhely. He doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You are not from the same camp as us.
Hey,
you were
Azrael.
sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Writhely. We're a
Kenapa bu
completely
saya?
different story, though. I'd like to know that too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means...
That is mean.
The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Writhely have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
Deliberately made them both disappear.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Writhely let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Linny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to RYZEN.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Laju sekejap lagi. Eh, kenapa si Jwin senyum?
I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time. Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking.
Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. Being
Aku
able
jahat
to
rupanya.
read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
Lenny, wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
Laju setan. Oh my goodness.
There is no escape.
There's no escape. We cannot escape, we cannot come out. Mama.
Come out and face me, RYZEN!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5...
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Acu. Kenapa acu tu, Afif? Hello. Welcome to my stream.
Yeah, listen to the traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Tanya balik soalan tu. Hey, is that Joey? Kenapa perempuan? Welcome to my stream. Alamak. Yang SOCIABUZZ dah update ke? Sudah update semalam 2 hari lepas kot. Regarding the hidden rules, kalau pagi dia chat dia cakap
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing
dah
during
cakap
that
dah tak
time?
laku. Cumanya yang ada satu pot je lah bak. Sabar jap kenapa?
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons will spend them on Fonta. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general state of a person's health just by looking at them. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fonta's own employees have a lot of reservations about it. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, the Melusines have also developed a sense of aesthetics that appears rather strange and alien to humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must want a return on their investment as well. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the research notes said that the Fonta's internal report suggests that there's We often see Miss Sijuin observing the Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing during that time?
Apa tu? Yang mana Zoo? Zoo aku punya. Bodoh. Thank you for RM2. Filmnya. Oh. Zoom dekat tu lah. Zoom pergi ni kan, pergi Noizukon yang gamer gathering tu. Tapi kat sini dah balik kot. Kau nak
I've
Zoom
been
dah
told
ambil
that
lah
the
Zoom tu.
infirmary
Tak
is
nak aku.
always empty for the half hour just before
Zoom dekat Zoom.
lunch.
Bukan.
But what could
Zoom
Sijuin
pergi
be doing
ni.
during that time?
KLCC. Dia pergi KLCC ada gamer gathering Nizukon. Pandai cakap Zoom betul sebab tu. Bodoh lah.
The Fonta promoter
Bengong.
has been struggling because I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta
Aku tak nak
promoter has
jawab.
been struggling. We
Sebab
often
tu bukan
see Miss
ceritanya.
Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like
Rimu-rimu bahaya. Kau dah delete dah, okey lah tu.
Fonta's internal
Bahaya
report
budak-budak
suggests
tengok
that
nanti.
they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged. We often see Miss Sijuin. Fonta's internal report suggests
Ini
that
macam
the
confuse
research
sikit.
notes said that the melazine,
Hmm.
according to Collins, the pancreation. We often see Miss Sijuin. I've been told that the infirmary is always. The Fonta promoter has been struggling.
Okay.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for. I've been told that the infirmary is always We often see Miss Sijuin. Fonta's internal reports. The research notes said that the according to Collins, the pancreation tournament only took place because Fonta's internal report suggests that there's. According to Collins, the
Oh salah eh. Who is here working continuously? Who will see it if you keep...
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half
Jatuh-jatuh yang
hour
datang
just
rumah
before
aku
lunch.
dah balik yang
But
terus
what
malam
could
dapat nombor 2
Sijuin be
sebab
doing
line
during
slow.
that time?
Banyak betul jantan kau bawa balik. Tua semalam. Kau bawa dia orang jalan je.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We
Fonta
often see
promoter
Miss
bukan?
Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. The research notes said that the melazine race perceives the world very different. According to Collins, the pancreas. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing?
4 orang Yong, 2 dari Yoho, 1 Ganu, 1 KL, tour of night kat Kedah. Venue kat mall tu yang slow sikit line. Oh, faham.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the I've been told that the infirmary is Fonta's internal reports. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin. The research notes said that we often see Miss According to Collins, the research notes said that the
Betul. Okay, gue salah. Okay. Memory of the month. Okay.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems. Fonta's internal report. The Fonta promoter has been struggling.
This one. Okay, bukan.
Fonta's internal reports. The research notes said that the
Yeah. But this is correct.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row.
Buat ni bengong
And
ah.
if they do, they'll get strange
Mati abang ni.
meat in their welfare meal. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sigeween visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sigeween has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does.
Dia besarkan sikit SOCIABUZZ nak.
However,
And nak buat tu cakap.
Melusines as a race
Korang tak dengar
perceive
ke?
the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us.
Besarkan sikit,
The
yep.
recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care
Paling besar
within
aku buat
and
tu.
usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sigeween's secret and even guessed her intentions
Tak
correctly as
dengar
well.
kat stream yang kecil.
It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now there are also
It is
some
long.
hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
Ada cara kuatkan ke? Biasanya tak ada. Nak spam ni biar kau stres dengan mod apa ni sendiri. Try buat test donate. Wow. Kejap. Is it this one? No. This one ke? Yang tu? Okay kan? Tu sound game yang kuat sangat. Ada je tu. Apa ni? Who send the package content as stream? Tak dengar kat stream tapi dah okay. Tak dengar kat stream? Tak apa, aku nak kau baca yang ni siap kau Yong. Janganlah bully saya. Sekejap. I don't think so. Dia ada sound. Dekat aku ada dengar.
Fanta's internal reports.
Who sent package contain strange blood?
The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took. Fanta's internal reports.
So kejar. Masalah hipotesis ni.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it.
Okay.
Fanta's internal reports suggest.
Okay, bahasa kuasa yang
The Fanta promoter has been struggling because.
betul. Thank God.
Paimon gets this rule too now.
Kenapa
So there
pakai
really
ni?
was nothing to be afraid of.
Mana dapat sembilan mata
Hidden
tu?
rule of the Pancration Ring is about how people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the Fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fanta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words, I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Secret between ni
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Ryzely! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind. You'll pay for this!
Rumah kau.
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sujwin.
Thank you
That was
for
a
the
fantastic
ringgit.
shot.
It was nothing.
Oh, pakai Gencu. Mana ada Gencu? Tak ada
Sijui.
weh. Tak ada.
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully
Makcik,
functional.
tengok ni dia
as I
pakai
just
Gencu makcik.
demonstrated.
Bukan Gencu makcik, okay?
Lane, you...
Thank you for the 2 ringgit. Apa? Apa tadi? Rumah dah hilang lah. Siapa musuh papat Hilang lah mana tadi. Bukan ni. Apa ni ha? Mana ikan bilisnya? BDNT. Dia cakap dia nak KFC dari Divide A. Kenapa aku nak KFC dari dia?
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come
Tak
here,
nak aku
he
KFC
told me
dia.
that my job would be to take care of the
Nanti
well-being
dia
of
carut.
everyone here. I am
Ha,
merely
kau
discharging my
nak
duty.
apa dari aku?
What you just said?
Melayu
Isn't
surga?
you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
Kau perasan pakai Gencu kena gigit. Kau kena gigit. Mana Gencu gila? Mana ada? Tak ada. Tak ada pun. Pakai apa nama tu? Pemerah bibir. Ya. Pasal bibir aku jadi gusam.
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to
Oh
protect
ni
them.
kerja kau yo. Ada
Had I
lelaki
not, we
sama-sama.
would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too,
Aku pula.
right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sijwin, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk
Nampak
some
sangat
sense
ke?
into you.
What are you talking about? What time?
Sebab filter ni. Tu yang nampak terang gila.
Take
Betul.
me if you
Reflect
want,
lampu. Oh tak biasa
but
je.
let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a
Ooh.
cup of tea. Miss Sijwin, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Siapa? New Village.
Some space,
Florin.
please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
For a minute.
Fremine. Fremine.
What's going on? What is Clarine
Apa
doing
tu?
here?
Rasa macam nak pergi masas. Minum badan. Pergi tu.
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine?
Masas Thailand lah. Sedap sikit.
Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
Ulut tapai
What did you
kacai.
say?
Hah?
Please, make some space. I'll need to
Saya
give
ingat tunjuk
Mr.
siapa.
Fremine a more
Nabil
thorough
kot.
checkup.
Teman Raja
Your
Lawak
Grace,
dulu.
I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
Try to understand the situation of the people around. Kita try learn it.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably
Oh, tak
caused
tahu
by an
itulah
acute
banyak makan
ingestion
semut.
of a large amount
Benda
of
dah lama
primordial
tau.
seawater.
Manalah aku ingat.
Still,
Waktu tak
his
semua
condition is not critical. Of course,
tak semua
it would
apa
be best if he stayed for
zaman
further
Maharaja Lawak tu
observation.
aku tengok.
Let's leave him here for now and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered
Sebab
a bit
time tu
more.
zaman tu aku tak ada astro.
Sorry, I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress,
Tu
however.
2013 Yong baru form 1. 2013 Aku
Why
mana
would
ada
he ingest a large amount of
astro
primordial
time tu.
seawater after leaving the
Aku
fortress?
ada
How could that
buka
possibly
korek
happen?
hidung gila. Ni
Please,
ha.
look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll
Buka
go fetch
korek
some
hidung.
medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just
Aku
took a
pakai
nap in
astro
an empty
pun.
room after I tranquilized her. If my
Buku apa entah.
calculations are
Tak
correct,
ingat.
she should also be waking up right around
Tapi
now.
2013 tak.
You might not
Belum
believe
lagi.
me,
Belum
but His
pakai.
Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea
Aku
for
pakai
her.
lambat astro. Tapi dah tak pakai dah. Bodoh astro.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality.
Sekarang
Did you
pun
arrive
tak pakai
just a few
dah.
minutes
Tengok
later,
Netflix je.
Siege
Ya,
may have
tu
been
lah tu.
forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed.
Aku
It's
daripada
pretty much
astro
as
biasa.
expected. The
Dah tukar jadi
concentration of
enjoy.
primordial seawater has increased significantly.
Pakai
I was
enjoy
only out
sebab
there a short time, so it wasn't too bad.
rumah aku tak
But if
selalu
one were
pakai
to stay
tak
for
selalu
any
tengok TV kan.
significant amount of
Tu
time,
downgrade ke enjoy.
well,
Dah tukar
you
enjoy.
can see how that boy's doing.
Tahu-tahu dia
Where
terpadang
was
aku
he
punya
when you
account.
found
Aku macam
The abandoned zone
macam
at the
what
end
the
of the
hell.
pipes. A good
Yang
distance into the
peliknya
water.
rumah tu aku okey.
Closer than I
Rumah aku
thought.
terus dia cut off.
He must have recognized
So
it early
macam
on and
dah
tried
tak
desperately to
pakai dah.
swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we
Dah
could
lah
have saved
astro
two.
tu. Oh my god.
Well, I did
Ulang
try
ni
to
cerita
convince
dia.
him that I had my reasons.
Bayar mahal. Cerita
Never
berulang
seems
ni.
to work though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a
Ya,
knack
astro
for picking out who
selek.
had good
Baik kau
intentions,
pakai ni je.
even when the
Tengok
outcomes were
Netflix
all
ke benda.
terrible.
That's a
Barang
bad
tu.
sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Linny, are
Isteri
you
yang dekat
okay?
malu tak select. Tu favorite. Astro tu nampak. Astro kat Balo. Itu
I'll be
Astra,
fine.
bukan Astro.
They're all here
Salah
now.
terus.
Don't worry about me.
Lain tu.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
Itu.
Lenny!
Lenny.
Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fremine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Water Lanyard macam sama macam klorin tu. Mak dia ke? Tidur dah.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
Suka.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
Marzwalnut tengok phone. Tengok phone? Ada apa? Kau buat apa kat phone aku? Ada apa? Ada apa-apa pun. Kau tak apa? Tengok notifikasi. Tak ada, tak keluar. Sekejap. Oh. Thank you tu. For donate dekat touch minggu. Thank you so much. Notification tak keluar tapi aku check ni. Bodoh tu touch minggu. Thank you bro. Thank you for the donasi. Really appreciate it. Diorang selek yang. Apa yang selek tu? Yang Tashingo ni bengong tau. Kau tak selalu je dia keluar notification dia. Mana ni atas dulu? Sekejap. Mana? Mana jalannya? Kalau kau tak buat apa kan, masuk saja notification. Insurans lah, apalah. Kan aku punya phone asyik masuk
Fremine,
masuk
how do you
20
feel?
cuci 100. Kenapa makan sangat tu, dek? Hai Aiman. Welcome to the stream.
Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The
So
infirmary
20 cuci
at the
100
Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
Aku tak pernah pula dapat
How do
tu.
you feel? Don't push yourself
Aku
if you're
yang
not feeling up to it.
latest aku dapat tu je lah.
Oh,
Like, sekejap.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's
Aceh?
something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me.
Ini
This
ha.
is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular
Pada tu aku
seawater.
dapat tu. Get your
I don't
touch
know
and go
why
card
it's there,
now.
but no one should touch
Our
it.
enhanced touch and go card are not available. Itu yang keluar.
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Story ke apa? Archon story quest. So, kita akan ikut the flow lah. Sambungan story 2 hari lepas.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child
Kenapa
be?
dia whimper? Sebab dia penat dek. Oh jadi dia. Sebab dia berenang kan? Sebab dia diver. Yo. Weapon apa tu? Sacrificial ni ke? Ni game sas. Bukan. Standard tu.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Stop. Okay. Apa ni? Sekejap aku mandi dulu and nanti aku jom balik. Aku baru balik kerja. Jom bareng-bareng sekejap. Okay. Take your time. Standby KFC sekalian. Standby KFC Zaid jaga mayung. Alamak. Takut. Sekejap. Ni tak boleh interact ke? Oh boleh. Dia cakap dia dah ada ikan bilis.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Oh, yang pusing ni. Mayung tunggu kau. Yang aku bagi access kat bandar. Bagi tu. Bukan aku yang cakap. Dia yang cakap. Base Miyong. Tahulah. Saya kadang-kadang seram juga ya. Saya berasa seram dengan korang. Dia jadi fitnah. Jahat. Oh dah sampai. Okay, dan proceed ke sini. Sekejap aku keluar sekejap. Okay, take your time. Oh turun bawah lagi. Okay.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Oh rambut dia. Kan. Rambut dia macam Yelan tu. Sikit lah. pakai dia punya ni pula. Dia punya headgear. Scuba diving punya gear.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently.
Apa ni? Mesti bau kepam kan dalam tu berenangnya lagi. Bau ni kot. Bau macam besi-besi buruk ni kot.
There are traces here too. I need to keep going.
Macam mana kau boleh bau Macam mana kau boleh bau tapi kau berenang?
But I don't see where he could have
Kau
gone.
lemas lagi.
Wait. What the?
Oh, terjekit air.
My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on?
Otak ni magic. Hati dia berdebar.
No good. I have to get back.
Mesti dia nervous.
I still don't know
Kena rodok dengan air.
anything about what's going
Bodoh.
on. If I turn back right now,
Dengan air pun jadi
to make it.
Nyawa dia. Kenapa kau tak bawa kau punya helmet, gila? Dia cok. Angang.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still
Okay, tu tangki
underwater.
oksigen kat belakang kau tu. Tu function kau bawa.
I have to push on.
Ni kalau pejam mata dengan stream dia duk whimper memang sas doyong. Kan? Kau belum dengar lagi suara Lisa. Lisa panjat bukit. Lisa panjat bukit memang sas gila.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Go to Duke office. Ini habis. Oh no. Pada boleh. To riot flee. Maksudnya dah habis kot story dia. I hope so.
Excuse me.
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mina dengan Tito kan.
Mostly fine, I think.
If you
Tahu
don't
dia
mind,
jantan.
I'd like to perform
Balik.
another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Please enlighten us much as you like.
Where should I begin? How about you
Okay.
start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
Apa ni? What would you do
No.
kalau
I just
kawan kau
knew they were
access dengan
Fatui
kau
operatives sent to
lempang?
the fortress by
Aku
the
sepak
Knave.
je.
As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
Aku sepak kaki dia.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with
Sepak
ulterior
bijak je kaki
motives.
dia tu.
I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own.
Sepak
Of
muka
course,
kau.
it's inevitable
Baik kau
that the
bagi dia
Knave would
masukkan.
make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Apa ni? Tadi tengok KKM punya news.
Why would you put it
Kabarnya
like
ada
that?
new virus risau
Isn't
PKP.
staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of
You.
sentence unto itself? Another form of
Aku tengok
prison?
berita je.
I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Aku dah tengok
Oh,
Twitter je.
right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremonet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that,
Itu pun sebab
yes.
selalu TikTok.
Credit where
Oh,
credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All
Yeah.
I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremonet.
apa ni?
We've
Sorry,
already
but
uncovered
Noi
that
tak
there's something wrong
yung
with the infirmary.
yang live kat
And
TikTok
we've
game
answered a
Minecraft
bunch
tu
of
pas
questions
Aca
that you
stress tu
threw at
dapat
us.
gift.
Isn't it about time that you answer our our last question and return?
Yang mana yang
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
macam mana tu?
Even if the truth may
Yang
not
dia
be
fill
pleasant.
in like lubang, lepas tu dia dapat gift. Lepas tu dia punya building dia meletup macam tu. Yang fill block. I think dia tak seteruk, sorry to say, Kinsha punya perspektif.
Follow me.
For me, Kinsha punya is very, for me lah, Kinsha punya is very annoying. Dia dapat gift daripada dia punya viewer, but dia bising lah. Dia seorang 2-3 okey lagi lah. Kalau ramai-ramai semua macam apa. Yang Minecraft tu okey lagi kot, I think. Minecraft yang fill block tu.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, right?
So far aku tak adalah jumpa lagi yang
It seems you've forgotten
yang
just what
dapat
kind of place the Fortress of
yang dapat
Meripede
gift
is.
Teddy drop tu. Yang dapat apa, I mean yang streamer yang marah tu kan. Aku tak pernah lagi jumpa kat aku punya FYP. Banyak Kinsha ni lah. Itu je.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Look around everybody on mute punya trend je. Best dekat FYP sekarang. Look around everybody on mute. Trend apa tu? FYP kau banyak cupcake yang Cina tu je yung.
Is the forbidden zone? Honestly, for a
Mana kau
place
tahu
so
eh?
well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
Beyonce punya konsert. Oh yang tu. Yang tu ada. Aku ada tengok. Like semua orang punya a few
There are
people
3
punya
such
perspektif.
isolation gates in total.
Ada
Generally
yang
speaking, I'm the only one
kata
who's allowed to go inside.
baru
Hence
sebab
the
kau ada
name
perasaan kau di post.
Forbidden
Oh,
Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
tak lah. Aku tengok yang Beyonce punya apa?
Well, I had advised
Konsert
you
tu
wait
pun
until
rasa
you've
macam
seen the whole
sakit
truth
hati
of
tu.
this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Kan Beyonce ada queue untuk mute kan. Tapi some of those suka buat bising kan. Oh ya. Yeah. Aku tengok pun aku rasa geram. Mana ada benda. Okay. We just proceed.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Kan
Stand
semua
back.
bagi side eyes. Ya. Apa ni? Celaka dia invite aku CS.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look.
Lepas tu dia ada, kalau kau perasan kan, ada satu Minah tu, dia cakap dengan mak dia kot. Kalau time Beyonce kata mute, kena senyap. Sekali dia yang lebih-lebih. Bangang tu.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind
Mak
it.
dia ikut apa yang dia
The
cakap, tapi
readings
dia
on
tak
that
ikut apa yang dia
dashboard
cakap.
have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes
Like,
on this place.
the hell?
But over the past year,
Ya.
the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has
Timing lari
changed,
tu.
if only
Macam motor.
infinitesimally.
Timing lari.
Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as
Nemo
well.
tu lari, Nemo tu
Unfortunately, our
kalau lari
dashboard is
melompat.
tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that FIFINE displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left, and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontanian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history
Bukan
is
dekat
true.
TikTok aku je, sampai dekat aku YouTube pun sama kak.
Indeed.
Habis
Just
semua
as the
lagu
prophecy
di
says.
remake masalahnya.
If this gate fails,
Ya lagu
then
Indo ke
everyone will
Malay
be
ke semua
dissolved
kena.
into
Tu
the
lah
sea.
tu. Dulu yang kuat remake lagu ni ya. Lagu apa? Lagu Indo. Lagu orang putih dia remake jadi lagu Indo. Sekarang habis. Jafe ke mak nenek semua, cupcake ke semua ada.
To be frank, not
Dia
really.
telefon gak di
But
kau.
sadly, that hasn't stopped this
Hah?
prophecy
Dia
from proving all
telefon
too
gak
accurate.
di kau juga.
Prophecies are troublesome things.
Bodoh ada
Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second,
bodoh.
and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Remake lagu Bobo di mana tu? Pernah aku tengok idea semua orang. Diorang kreatif loh. Aku ada lah try nak ni and try buat remix
Your
kan.
Grace, perfect timing.
Tak boleh.
The results from our
Hati.
last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin? Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archium and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Yo.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Just a normal room.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Yo.
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden
Dia
bee.
macam nak buat
Taking the
like
golden bee with
macam
him and riding on a
metafor
huge ship, the Fortuna.
Nabi
He
Nuh.
created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have
I'm
a whole
back.
factory's
Hello,
worth of
welcome back.
labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
Ini memang for story ke or ada gameplay dia? Ada gameplay dia tadi?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any
Memang story dia lah.
catastrophe.
Main story dia.
As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now.
Aku
I'll need
suka
another
Genshin
3
ni pun
cups of
sebab
tea to
dia
soothe my
punya
throat.
story dia. Story
Do
guide
you
dia.
have any other questions?
Memang mantap.
Seems
Daripada
like you're
game-game lain.
good. Come on,
So
I'll take you
far,
back.
MMORPG punya game, this one is better. Jalan cerita dia daripada starting sampai ke sekarang ni is very walah.
I'll leave you here for now.
Gameplay dia pun not bad lah.
Thank you so much.
Tapi aku tak suka
No
gacha dia.
worries. But don't forget, it's up to
Game
you
ni
whether or
berat
not you
juga
want to
tu.
share what you
Ya.
just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those three as well.
Dekat PC berat, phone pun berat. Terus aku pakai phone
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for
low
sure.
storage, GG lah.
Great. I look forward to what
FPS
happens
kalau main
next.
drop. Aku lowkan FPS dia. Kena lowkan grafik dia. FPS dia kalau nak naikkan okey je. Sebab dia nak proses kan. Lepas tu ni dia kata iPhone 15 punya grafik dia cantikkan lagi Genshin. Tak tahu lah.
We're back!
Apa ni?
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
KNA
Be
apa
so
tu?
much like Risley.
Kena
Always drinking tea.
Huh.
Kenal
Actually, now that you mention it, I just
kenal
remembered something
Belas
now.
tak yung
While I was
Belas ni
faded,
mana tu?
I could still barely
TikTok
hear
ke?
two people talking next to me.
I
They were discussing
don't
everything, from the
Aku tak ingat.
leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Kenapa dengan dia?
Must have been Risley and Sijui.
Sekejap, let me Google.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them.
Kenal?
They really were just talking about brewing
Ada
tea.
satu anak perempuan dia yang kecil tu. Comel.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able
Kan,
to
anak
learn
dia comel tu.
anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Anak dia tak nakal. Dengar cakap.
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijui is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my
Oh,
theories.
jumpa dia daripada depan.
I asked
Walau.
myself three
Ya.
questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My
Dia orang
theory is
Ipoh kan?
the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us
Dah ke Ipoh
completely
yung?
at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why?
Entah. Dia orang kedah agak
I
kat je
spent
dengan
quite a
aku.
long time
Oh
thinking
ya.
about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning,
Entah, aku
he
confused.
probably
Kedah
ignored us
sini.
at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for
Aku
him.
Perak.
What's more, the fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to
Dah
Udex
bela tu orang kedah
Nervulant.
lah.
Risley
Ya,
is basically the
silap.
king of a
Aku silap,
no-man's
silap.
land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against
mana
each
KFC
other,
aku main.
Risley will
KFC
be
kau
free
sendiri
to
dalam
move between the
bodoh.
parties of interest.
Jangan.
If I had to guess, He probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it
Cik
could
marah-marah
be.
sangat ni. Kenapa? Nak cendol?
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing.
Jangan
There's probably a
risau.
secret passageway
Kan?
behind the block in the infirmary,
Aku very
and there's
kau.
something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip,
Kenapa
and it could
Pokemon?
be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Malam main GTA banyak betul copyright song. GTA memang banyak gila copyright song.
Let's see.
So kalau
Well,
ni
and
better
calls
kau
everyone.
tutup je music dia.
Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley
Sangat
have
tak nak
wanted to
eja
meet
yang
Father
real
to
nanti
figure
orang
out a way
tengok.
to deal with this
Yeah.
crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father
Mostly
sees the House of
lagu-lagu
the
dalam
Hearth as
GTA
her
tu
base of
mostly
operations, and she
lagu
truly
apa?
wants to resolve the
Lagu
crisis.
in real life.
But how could Wriothesley
Radio
have
dia
known
kan
that?
semua in real life punya lagu.
Or perhaps he didn't know
They
and
just
just wanted to
look
bring Father
on
over to
je.
his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to
Lagu Fluffy
negotiate.
Mat dalam GTA. Fluffy?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well,
Kira pakai
Traveler.
lagu Jaffe.
I'll
Kenapa
figure out
lagu
a way to
Jaffe?
pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us
GTA
far
biasa
too
ke
much.
GTA modded?
We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as
GTA
family
modded
now.
aku tak sure lah sama ada lagu dia.
You have my
Lagu
gratitude.
lagu dia ada copyright ke tak?
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were
Apa
going to do
kesalahan?
it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength,
Not
we
sure but
might
yang
not need our
Fluffy
help at
main
all.
lah.
But if you are
Oh,
ever
moderate
in
lah.
danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Fluffy main GTA. Tak salah aku semalam dia main ni. Semalam dia main Party Animal.
Paimon,
Maybe
Paimon's
rasanya lah.
hungry.
Oh,
Sup-sup
you've
tu dia
done so
masuk.
much
Kenapa
already.
tu?
Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Go to cafeteria. Dulu time streaming jadi mak tu. Oh. Mati kereta aku ni. Aku bosan jom. Ni tertidur je sambil tengok kat stream. Tak tahu habis bateri.
Come on, let's
Lah.
go to bars as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Are you here for dinner too,
Macam mana
Miss
kau boleh
Seaweed?
tertidur? Kau baru je.
And I'm
Check
taking the
tadi.
opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Cas tu phone.
You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat?
Kan so sus.
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem.
Sekarang terlelak
Just
kejap.
leave it to
Faham?
me.
Mulut aku ni innocent baru 15. Ya ke? Lu percaya ke 15?
So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
feeling full yet?
Oh,
How's
kenapa
the
tu?
food? Delicious.
RM12 per traffic PNG. Why? Kenapa ada warning tu? Ya, nanti main Overwatch dengan aku nanti. Overwatch Aku ada tau main Overwatch lately ni. Like 2-3 game. 1-2 game kot. Lepas tu aku tutup. So aku macam entahlah, mungkin tak ada orang nak main kot. Tu yang aku rasa macam cepat bosan.
I'm so glad to see
Boleh,
you
boleh.
all so happy. Oh, see the expression on your face
Tak tahu
just
lah
now.
aku ada lagi ke tak.
The muscle here just moved, which suggests that
Yep.
you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Wah, ada lagi.
Sidween, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
Kenapa aku kena marah lah
Both,
dengan
I
si Nightbot?
MML is
Tak
deep,
tahu pula.
which means I'm
Dia
very
kata tu
different from human beings.
I can do
I
this
must
all
know what
day.
you're thinking if I want to take
So
good care of
spam me.
you.
Entah.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so shy,
Masalahnya
you still talk and act
yang
like
tu
an
dia
older
detect
sister.
pula. Sekejap.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean
Oh.
back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well.
Aku tulis besar. Dah aku dah tutup.
Oh, that.
Sebab aku nak pakai
I
cap
just
kot.
asked his
Ya
grace
tu.
to look out for those
Dah aku
children,
dah tutup. Aku dah tutup.
especially that diver boy.
Yang tu dia
I was
detect.
getting a bit worried
Yang aku letak
after hearing
koman-koman
that
tadi
something
tu.
was wrong with the
Koman-koman
water.
untuk macam aku punya Discord
Clorand
ke
is
IG
very
kan.
strong and managed to save
Dia
him
tak nak
in the
keluar
nick
pula.
of time. His grace
Bingung
also
punya ni.
sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him
Dia
to
nak
be
pakai
in
cap
any real
lagi.
danger.
Better dari.
You were all
Tak nampak
super
sincere.
considerate and really thought everything through.
Aku
It's
terbiasa
just what
dah
we do
dengan
down
koma
here at the
tu.
fortress.
Koma?
At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been
Dia
the
WhatsApp
leader.
je banyak pakai titik.
Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
Ya, sama dengan aku. Instead of using koma, kita boleh titik.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both
Maximum 2
worked
titik
very hard.
Return to the dormitories to rest. Atas ke? Atas. Satu hang. Nanti aku cuba behave lah. Dah, aku dah tutup dah. Tak tahu pula dia detect yang tu. Itik tu binatang yang bunyi kuek-kuek-kuek kan je. Itu itik. Buang T depan dia.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed.
Padahal tengah stream lah.
Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Ya tu. Kat TikTok. Bengku Paimon. Dalam hati lepas baca tu macam aku sepak-sepak mungkin kau. Tak
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Paimon buat ngigau tu. Oh free.
Get out of my way!
Paano?
What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Tengok ngigau.
Oh,
You.
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
How to be a moderator. Entah. Behave ikut. Tu je. Behave, lepas tu kau banyak, kau selalu masuk, maybe dapat lah. Lagipun moderator ni banyak kerja. Kalau apa? Kalau kau kena handle banyak chat, cubalah tak ada.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey,
Lagipun chat aku tak banyak. So, aku bagi je lah.
what's wrong with these people? They won't even
Uh,
talk to us.
moderator untuk a few people.
They're here.
So, kalau macam chat aku ramai gila, nanti aku bagi.
Oh,
Nanti
thank
aku akan
goodness.
select a few people.
We
Itu.
still in Maroon. Do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully
Okay, I
completed,
see.
yet you only find out
Itulah
once you do a head
ceritanya.
count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that thing.
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
Okay lah, saya behave.
We have to go find the gate. You two just
That's
go
not what I
without us.
meant.
Go on without us.
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Lagipun dekat aku punya channel aku ni, dah ada few people aku bagi ni. Bagi mod. So, tak perlu lagi kot untuk sekarang. If kalau ramai gila-gila, nanti maybe I will consider bagi. Not for now lah. Sorry tu. Tak apa tu. It's okay. Ui, kat sini.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Apa vowel yang missing Yong? I don't want to say. Air purple tu. Bukan padu. Perhaps bagi aku. Jawab. Aku tak nak jawab. Bahaya. Dah beku keluar air lagi. Lawa tu air dia. Color unicorn.
3, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Nuvilet. Tell him the
Jangan tengok
defenses are
bobo
about
boy.
to collapse.
Apa ada tu?
Until he
Bodohnya
arrives,
buat.
we're the last line of defense.
Be active, maybe one day yung bagi. Tunggu yung K6 dia nak face review. Ini bukan face review
The
ke?
gate.
Oh
How
ni
long do you
mas.
think it'll hold?
Sorry.
That depends on us.
Oh keluar Tengok tu. Come on, go.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Baik. Lemak mas Toilet jap. Okay.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Tolonglah jangan Farina buat kerja gila. Ya tu. Pada syurga aku mampus. Bodoh. Yep. Okay dah. Let's go to the opera house.
Look, there are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Jangan explain tu gerak gila. Mampu orang tua tu je. Game ni banyak sangat effect. That's why banyak sangat FPS problem. Dia macam mana cakap satu effect, satu lagi satu effect grafik dengan dia punya particle. Particle tu pun buat sebab jadi lag device.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave, one of the 11 Fatui harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
Racun ke? Maybe.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
Aku sebenarnya tak setting lagi.
Coming from you,
Tapi itulah.
that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because...
Oh, YouTube, TikTok tu siapa lagi?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Maripede.
Aku stream dekat YouTube dan Twitch. TikTok buat konten, YouTube pun buat konten. IG pun I think kot.
The Fortress of Maripede lies deep beneath the waves.
Itu je.
Unless he pranced
YouTube,
right out
TikTok,
of the main
Twitch,
gate,
IG.
he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right?
Tapi kalau time cuti baru boleh join TikTok lah.
Accurate. It doesn't matter so
apa.
much how it's written or how it's worded.
It's okay.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Yo.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth.
Tunggu sekejap. Lepas dia masuk baru keluar. Okay.
This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race.
Pasal pula ni. Memang power dia. Dia boleh apa control elemental air. Dia boleh seal off macam tu je. Buat sana dia.
The sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Wah, water element. Apa ini? Habis story dia?
All right.
Oh,
Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You
Aku
owe
ingat
me a
perempuan tadi
present.
laki ke? Punya.
Very well.
Mana ni
It
ke?
was indeed
Ni.
just as you said.
This one.
You made a bet?
Ke fanboy?
We made a bet on the size
Yang
of your
tadi.
entourage.
Yang
Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
yang warna merah tu.
I figured you would
Mata
have
ada
at
X
least
tu.
brought a few people
Itu
along for
lelaki.
appearance's sake.
Tu perempuan,
It
sorry.
appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So
Yang
what
air.
gift must the
Air.
loser give? Tea?
Ni lah. Yang.
He
Ni.
already has tons
This
of tea
guy.
in his office.
Lelaki.
I'm thinking
Lelaki
about a set of
perempuan.
legal codices.
Yang
Wouldn't
makan
happen to be a dig at my
yang pakai
lack of
topi
legal
warna biru
awareness,
tu
would it?
perempuan.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I
Yang
was under the
yang
impression the
yang
residents
merah
of a
ada
place
X
like this
merah
would
kat
be
mata tu
uninterested in the legal
perempuan.
codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to
Aku
attend
ingat dia
to in the
perempuan tadi.
overworld,
Oh.
correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Macam Lancelot dah yang biru tu. Kan? Tapi dia apa role dia? Role dia jadi macam hakim.
I must say,
Lancelot
we've
ML
spent
or
long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic
Zed, ya.
representatives. Allow
Apa
me
tu?
to speak to you now
Game
as
ni
just
ada
a
hero boleh
Fontaine.
terbang tak?
You know the prophecy by heart,
Apa?
and also that every part of it is being proven true.
Ada?
Yet, here
Kalau
you
bayar
are,
ni Melaka bayar kan.
drinking
Kalau
tea
lancar,
and eating
lancar
desserts
lah
as if
gila.
it's all nothing more
Bukan
than a few
tu
stray
gila.
bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable?
Lancar is lancar.
The prophecies
Kalau
hanging
yang
above our
opposite
necks like a
that
guillotine.
tu bukan.
Every
Itu
faction
benda
is
lain.
looking for a way to
Itu
either
masuk benda
avert
lain.
the disaster or save their own.
Saja,
Even the orphans of the House of the
Kau tahu
Heart
benda
have
tu.
devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you, it beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor,
Muzik dah masuk.
you
Yang
have
aku keluar dulu.
utterly
Ya, aku nak
failed to
bobok
take
esok pergi
action.
kerja. Okay.
You're wrong.
Thank you for
I've
coming to
never
my stream.
ignored the prophecy.
Teringat
Nor
yang
have
meme
I
laki
just
bini
been
tu. Semuanya
passing the
belanjak.
time in self-indulgence.
Semuanya berjalan
Retract
dengan
your
bodoh.
accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great
Thank you for
Hydro
having me for
Archon.
live stream. Huh?
How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on?
Okay,
Where
then,
can we
well,
see it,
bye,
and what
good
is
night.
it doing to help?
Jantan-jantan aku semua dah balik dalam
My
dah dalam bahyong,
machinations
tinggal kenangan je
are
kat
just
bilik aku.
like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves
Jangan
at
sedih,
the
okay?
fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive
Kalau
them
rindu
as
tengok
of
gambar
yet.
dorang.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of
Ah,
those?
bosan. Geram adalah.
The emergency response plan
Minggu
is
bukan asal kedai
also
cakap senang
strictly
kedai. Nak
confidential.
lepak.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss
Faham?
Farina, what is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
Jangan makan,
You
jangan
too,
makan.
Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Makan juga eh.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too.
Follow the knave to the exit. Mana? Jauhnya, dik. Oh my god, Farina. Kan? Farina is so gorgeous. Hi, guy. How's your punya ni? Tu tempat belajar? Dah makan gayung? Belum. Oh, no, belum lagi. Sekejap lagi kot. Habis stream kot. Tapi nanti nak tengok video aku send kat nanti tengok video aku send kat Discord.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me.
Okay.
Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
Potong tadi je lah aku makan.
That's what Paimon
Sekarang
thought.
belum lagi.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Heart is very important to me.
Kenapa tu?
You should know that I care deeply about my children. That was all.
Paling dapat
Formal
tengok live.
topics should be discussed
Oh,
in
ya.
formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
Ni pun dah 2 jam lah.
I know you
2
just
jam
returned
46
from the
minit.
fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to
Kalau
get
habis ni,
anything
habis
out
kot.
of you. Linny,
Habis lah
Lynette,
stream
and Fermine
saya.
are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
People have been working very hard and have
Saya tengah main
always done
story
all
mode
they can
Archon.
to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Lenny.
You mean Wrydsley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of
Nanti dah nak habis
Fermina?
kot. Nanti tinggal last kot.
You are outside of
Nanti
our
rewatch.
disputes,
Okay.
and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily.
Kau jadi lawa
Allow
tu.
me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
What do you?
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis.
Already
I didn't
gorgeous.
expect the chance to approach Farina
Mana
to
perempuan
be
ni?
handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's
Kinda.
actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning.
What is up with
I
that?
left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Eudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Writhely.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Udex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Udex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Udex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Udex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the point.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then
Hello,
that's
hello.
okay. We can talk about something else.
Chaos
We won't try to force you.
Look at the stream.
You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, Then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so.
Panggil
The
saja
fortress has a
Keken.
long and
Okay.
complex history.
Okay,
It has seen
Keken.
much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
The village is the dragon warrior.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
Dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neverlet, are you listening?
Ah, my apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's
Apa tu?
still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world,
Ini tengah fokus, guys.
myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they
Aku baca
seized
chat,
a part
jangan
of the
risau.
dragon's power.
Itu juga saya.
Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Okay, agaknya. Itu represent more about everyone's situation. Oh God. Fortune sleep. What? Okay. I think that's it for today kot. Dah lama sangat dah dekat 3 jam lah. Kita akan sambung pada live stream yang akan datang lah. Ya. Tengoklah esok ke lusa. Okay guys, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming Seketul. Thank you for coming Keken. Somebody Zack. Thank you for donating sekali. Thank you Kai. Thank you Aiman. Thank you siapa tadi? Thank you Abiromo. Thank you Thank you Afif. Thank you Azrael. I will see you guys in the next stream. Bye bye. Good night. Assalamualaikum. Bye. Nanti kita sambung, okay? Okay? Nanti kita sambung. Bye.